It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
Spaceman, just calling to let you know they're remaking your favorite film, Cliffhanger. And I'm pretty sure they replaced Sylvester Stallone's character with a female lead. Get it on.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
Yeah, I get what everyone does now, but they don't have to do it.
Yeah.
Like, it's a remake. You don't have to do a fresh sheet of paper on a remake. And look, you remake Jaws, but don't remake it with a polar bear. Do it with a shark. That's all I'm saying.
Do it with like a whale shark instead of a great white.
I don't know. They're too docile, the whale sharks. I'm just saying it doesn't, Karate Kid doesn't need a black guy, or it doesn't need a woman, or it doesn't just remake. Or don't remake and just make something else.
You know the actress that popped into my head when I heard that they were redoing it that would actually kind of serve that role well.
Cliffhanger?
Even though you don't like her. Charlize Theron.
Charlize Theron on Cliffhanger.
Because she does a lot of like action roles. She's done those like Netflix action movies. I mean, what other female lead is like super hardcore action? Does a lot of her own stunts. I can't think of any.
It'll be fine, but just make a new movie. That's all I'm saying.
I still haven't seen the original.
What?
Should that
Get
be
the
like
hell?
Cross House viewing this
Girl,
weekend?
You've gotten yourself, you've lowered yourself down to a zero with that comment.
Oh,
That's one of the greatest films of all time.
You knew that about me, though. We had this whole conversation with Stephen Baldwin.
I knew about it, but I block it out. I always block it.
All the bad parts of me you just block out.
Well, that would take forever, but the main bad parts I block out. Yes. All right, what's going on in the news, Alicia Krause?
So it's kind of interesting. I think maybe some Hollywood lefties are coming around to the fact that they were jerks to, I don't know, half Americans for the last 10 plus years that Donald Trump has been on the political scene. Daily Show host Jon Stewart mourns the fact that we've lost the ability to love people in different parties. And then we have clips of that in a second. But first, we're going to start with Jennifer Lawrence saying, quote, I don't really know if I should speak out on Trump in politics anymore because she thinks that it's adding fuel to the fire that's ripping America apart.
Well, if they knew anything, they should say something, but they don't really know anything.
They think they know the things, though.
I guess. Is this Jennifer Lawrence now?
Yeah, this is Jennifer Lawrence.
Okay.
She's on a film, doing the press tour for her new movie with, what's his face from Twilight? And it's called Die, My Love.
Yeah, what's his name? All right, we'll listen.
Not a bad idea. What do you mean? A revolution.
You have been politically outspoken in the past. In the first Trump administration, you had a lot to say. I'm curious how you feel about talking out now.
I don't really know if I should. I think like the first Trump administration was so wild, and just how can we let this stand? Like I felt like I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off. But as we've learned, election after election, celebrities do not make a difference whatsoever on who people vote for. And so then what am I doing? I'm just sharing my opinion on something that's going to just add fuel to a fire that's ripping the country apart. I mean, we are so divided. I think I'm in a complicated recalibration because I'm also an artist. And with this temperature and the way that things can turn out, I don't want to start turning people off to films and to art that could change consciousness or change the world because they don't like my political opinions. I want to protect my...
Hey, everyone, I'm Joe.
All right. I get it. Look, it's true. You have no impact anymore. And B, there used to be a thing with actors and actresses where they were like, I don't want anyone to know anything about me because when I play the role of this, I don't want people thinking about...
want that in the back of their mind.
Yeah, gay or straight or where my politics are, really anything. I just want to disappear into these roles, and then people won't have to have these preconceived anythings, and which is a human thing to do. If you heard a guy killed his wife, or you heard a guy's
got a DUI, sometimes that happens. Like it affects your perspective. A DUI is no big deal to you?
Yeah, it's not going to, it's acting wise. A DUI doesn't draw, it's not one way or the other. It's an actor who went to a party who got drunk and then drove himself home. I don't think of him as a bad person per se.
Like he made a mistake. But killing your wife is like a very different type of mistake.
Yeah. Yeah. So a DUI is something that can happen to somebody, but it doesn't make me think you're this way or that way.
Yeah.
It's a mistake you made, but it's not going to affect your role and what I think of your acting. But if you were into, if you just announced you were Muslim or into Santeria or something, then I'd be watching you thinking about that.
Really?
I would.
I don't practice Santeria, though.
Yes. Like the song. So sublime, right? All right. My point is this. A little more mystery and a little less history.
Got it.
That's the way I like to roll.
I think she and I might be similar ages. She's married now. She has a kid now. She's doing kind of more quote unquote serious art, where she used to do insane blockbuster movies like The Hunger Games or that one space movie with Chris Pratt. And I think that maybe she's being mature and introspective here. Now, I do take issue with her a little bit of like, well, what if I'm a part of something that can make a difference, like art that can make a difference? And,
I know.
And it's like, how much art? I do think that culture is important. I mean, politics is downstream of culture, is something that we talk about on the conservative side of the aisle all the time. But really, I don't think there's going to be a sole piece of art that Jennifer Lawrence or anybody else, Steven Spielberg or anybody else is a part of that's going to, quote unquote, change the minds of Trump voters.
Robert Pattinson, by the way.
Oh, that's his name.
Yeah. Now, okay, so here's, I should feel. Okay. The thing that always bothers me about all the blowhard celebrities is when they go, here's the time we're living in and here's what we're dealing with and all that. I always go, but as opposed to what? Like, we just got 4 years of Joe Biden. Joe Biden is sort of asleep at the wheel, kind of along for the ride. I mean, all your stuff that you called cheap fakes and stuff like that. At the time, I said, I don't know what you're even talking about. What is a cheap fake? It's video of him being out of it at a party.
Yep.
You're calling it a cheap fake, and then you're going, it's just a piece of, because the video, it's just a slice. I had a comedian in here arguing with me, like it's just a piece of the video.
It's not how he is all the time. That's what
they're going, the video is just a piece. I go, the P. Diddy video of him smacking the chick and kicking her in the hallway? Yep. That's just a piece of a video.
Yep.
There's a video that runs by the elevator 24/7, 7 days a week. Most of the time, there's nothing going on or a family walking to the elevator. Once in a while, P. Diddy kicks the shit out of his old lady, and then we cut it, and then we look at it, and then we judge P. Diddy. And you're saying that's edited.
Yep.
Yes, it is. Because otherwise we'd have to watch 700 hours of video to get to the part. So when Joe Biden is brain dead at the Juneteenth party on the lawn, yes, it's not the entire Shaka Khan concert.
Or the G7 summit, or going up and down the stairs.
It's not the entire thing. It's not the entire thing. It's a film of him falling down the stairs. It's not a film of him sitting on the airplane or sitting in the limousine on the way to the airplane. Yes, I got it. It's edited.
Yeah.
Everything is edited so we can see it. All surveillance, every piece of Ring doorbell footage where somebody steals a package and you put it on the news or tries to set a house on fire and it ends up on the news. That's edited from the nothing that was happening on the Ring doorbell camera before
whenever, like, the Channel 7 Eyewitness News at night has
right.
footage of.
So you guys invented something called a cheap fake.
Yep.
Now, you had a brain-dead, corrupt guy in the office for 4 years. You had a guy who was corrupt. His son was corrupt. He's cutting deals, enriching himself all over the place. A chronic liar. left the border wide open and used the auto pen and just has underlings run the country. So who are we comparing Trump to?
Yeah, that's true, because I think in 2016, leftists like Jennifer Lawrence were freaking out. And I think that maybe they're like, oh man, maybe we overreacted to too much, because if everything, we've talked about this many times before, if everyone and everything is Nazi, then like we're just jaded of hearing that all the time. So then we don't believe you when you say it.
Right.
But in 2016, people left, right, and center didn't understand or know how he would govern. Now we saw how Trump governed. Then we had the horrible, for us on the right, and most of America think, we saw the horrible 4 years of Biden governing. And now we have Trump again. And I think that maybe she's like, it's not as bad as I thought it would be.
A reasonable person would go with any body.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a president, could be a camp counselor, or you're going, oh, we're not going to get Hildegard again. But if you got Hildegard once a summer ago and it was okay, then you're going to have her again, you can kind of go like, all right, I can deal with this.
Yeah.
That's what a person who didn't have Trump derangement syndrome would do.
It's
so
like,
maybe she's
It's like when
that.
you know the drive to LAX is going to take you an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
You're dreading it, but you are anticipating it. So it's not as bad because you can plan for it. You're saying that leftists have planned for Trump number 2?
I'm saying it's like you going nuts because you think it's going to take 12 hours to get to LAX, but it only takes an hour and 10 minutes.
Got it.
And then you have another LAX flight 2 years later, and while other people are going, oh my God, you're going, done it. It's longer than I'd like,
We'll
but
be okay.
we'll make it. Yes.
So Jon Stewart, kind of in this same vein, on the same day, talked about a similar thing of like, listen, we can't be ostracizing half of the country. Like, we need to have real relationships. Here we go, Jon Stewart.
He's a three-dimensional human being. And by the way, I love him. He's a three-dimensional human being who has qualities that I really admire, things about him. And we've lost that. We've lost the ability to love people.
Is he talking about Trump?
He's talking about an
because
uncle.
we litmus
Oh,
test
okay.
at
I guess,
every
wait,
point.
is there a top of this, or it's just he's talking about his uncle?
The clip started in a weird place.
Oh, okay, he's talking about his uncle.
There is no top on this. This is a New
his
Yorker
uncle.
paywall.
He's talking about his uncle who voted for Trump.
Yeah, he's saying.
Okay,
he's
but
saying
we just
that
need to set it up in the clip because otherwise we don't know.
So
what
he
he's
was saying
talking
that
about.
he loves his uncle. He talked about this with New Yorker's David Remnick. I love a good argument. I love differing points of view.
All right, well, we can show the clip. We'll show the clip now. I thought he was talking about Trump. That's my problem.
Every single moment. And by the way, I love him.
My uncle.
He's a three-dimensional human being
My Uncle
who has
Stan.
qualities that I really admire,
Who's my uncle?
things about him. And we've lost that.
About my uncle.
We've lost the ability to love people
Like my uncle.
because we litmus test at every point, in every single moment.
Note the deep leg
Way,
cross.
I love
note
him.
the put it back. Note the double deep leg cross.
Both dudes.
Yes, I'm a dude, and I'm from the left, and so the audience knows I'll go with the deep leg cross. So you know I'm down with the community, and then it's the host who's interviewing the guy with the deep leg cross. I shall engage in the deep leg cross, so you know this is not going to be adversarial. It's not going to be a tough interview. Now my nuts have fallen asleep. Now I was thinking about this because people keep tweeting me now
Oh gosh.
because there's a new thing afoot, or maybe a nut, that the deep leg cross is a thing. There's a physiological thing going on.
Really?
Yes.
Is it changing like bone structure and stuff?
Progressives on average are like 30 pounds lighter than the Republican dudes.
Yeah. But
Republican dudes are just bigger dudes.
sometimes with fat, sometimes with muscle. Depends on what part of the
Are
country you're
just husky, a little bit of each, but they're built a little differently, whereas the Democrats are always like waif models. The dudes are always waif models. And so you can't get that deep leg cross if you got some thigh and some gut
Oh
on
yeah,
you.
you're not going to be a hockey player or like a footballer.
No,
or
but
like,
they're all super wafy. So they're able to get the deep leg cross. Now, the thing that's probably tough is Pritzker. Because they got to go, listen, you're such a woke douche, but you're unable to do the deep leg cross because of your girth. So if we really got to get you on a diet so you can signal it's a present. You present to the audience where you're at, that you have a soft, weak, feminine mind.
Yes.
Not that the feminine mind's weak, but you think like a chick.
I know what you meant. I
Cross your
understand.
legs like a chick. Pritzker can't do that. Now, when you take you take the Obamas, and I mean, you take a guy like Obama. Like Obama's like a 63-year-old guy. He's unusually, these people are like unusually thin. Like there is no dad bod. Most guys kind of get into a dad bod as they get a little bit older. These guys never go into their dad bod or Beto O'Rourke or like any of the commentators. There's none of them. They're all not just like not fat, but like really fit. Like no waistline kind of thing.
I don't know if that's fit though.
Well,
they're just scrawny.
They're not like doing, what do they call that? What's the sport that they CrossFit? They're not like that.
It's trademarked, so you might have to pay for that.
But they're most guys, when you get in your 50s and 60s, you just get a little bit of a waistline on you. And he doesn't, they don't have that. They just have this thing. I'm not saying they're, paragons of fitness. I'm just saying they don't have that weight on them. And like Justin Trudeau, like these guys, Gavin Newsom, they don't have that waist, so they can get a deep, Jon Stewart, like the list goes on. There's no husky guys in that group.
That's true.
So part of it is a physical part, so it's actual, they're able to pull it off.
And the other part is the liberal mental state of having to do the signaling with the leg crossing.
Yes.
Okay.
And maybe the leg cross also says I'm fit. Like women with long hair like throwing their hair around a lot. Like when they're talking, they'll take their finger and do that move, or they go, ugh, so hard
Just
with
have
this
to,
hair. Yeah, they'll throw it around. I don't know. I don't know why we're stopped on this.
This is the next story.
Oh, the next story. Oh, that's right, because we're going to talk about it. But anyway, you show me liberals on a stage, I will show you deep leg cross.
Oh, liberal men specifically.
Oh, I'm sorry, liberal men.
Yeah.
Liberal men.
No, I try to do the Princess Kate like ankle tilt.
Yes, side saddle. Like a young lady should.
Exactly. Just try to always follow what Princess Kate does. Including ignoring Meghan Markle. Did you see her fake like sloppy kiss for Prince Harry after the Dodgers won the World Series?
Meghan?
Yeah.
No.
So obnoxious.
Listen, you, first off, don't come over here from your land of cricket and pretend to know our baseball. That's what I'm saying.
All right.
Soccer.
So this, according to the Wall Street Journal, and this ties into the video here that we're going to play about the Angel City FC captains publicly condemning one of their teammates. But now there's more and more gay people. And by the way, I love how this is like new news to the mainstream media, because I've been hearing this for a very long time in LA and conservative circles. But people within the queer community, specifically queer activists, are upset and speaking out against the gender ideology of like trans people and how they've taken over the movement. There's this new book coming out by this guy named Ben Apple, and he was saying in his book, Cis White Gay, The Making of a Gender Heretic, it comes out next week, and he argues that gender ideology is, quote, illiberal, repressive, and anti-gay. As much as the cult that he was raised in, Lambs of Gods, was a fundamentalist sect, he says that he and an increasingly vocal group of gay men, lesbians, and bisexual people are now rejecting this. By the way, I have to give kudos to like the British lesbians, the ones that took all the way to the UK Supreme Court, protecting women's spaces and women's sports and not transgendering minors. They, like, shame on lesbian and liberal feminists here in the United States who didn't have the cojones to do the same thing, and kind of talking about what this guy is talking about. It's like, you claim to be a part of our coalition, yet everything that you're doing is damaging our coalition.
Right.
And I think case in point is you have this professional female athlete with the Angel City FC, Elizabeth Eddy, this week. The veteran midfielder, spoke up about the integrity of women's soccer.
This is the Los Angeles soccer team?
Yep. It's the women's soccer team.
Yuck.
So she's been in the National Women's Soccer League since...
This is, by the way, 3 strikes. It's got the word soccer, women, and Los Angeles in it.
Oh, God.
Done. 3 strikes and you're out, bitches.
You'd like this gal. Elizabeth spoke up this week, calling on the National Women's Soccer League to adopt a clear sex-based eligibility policy to protect the women's category of sports. And then her frickin' team captain went and did this press conference and totally bashed her. Here's a video of that.
I love that they think it's okay. Number one, let me just say this. If you don't think it's okay for biological men to play with women, or you do think it's okay for biological men to play with women, let's not forget, before anyone cared, I think it was 2019, a Dallas, Texas under 15 high school team beat the women's national team 2 games in a row. So these are boys not from around the world or from around the United States, just from Dallas, Texas.
Yeah.
One place, under 15. That doesn't mean...
That could be professional women, because it turns out men and women are different.
By the way, under 15 is under 15. It means there could be 12-year-olds on that team for the dudes. Now, I'm guessing they were 14 or 15 and under, but there's always a couple of 13-year-old ringers out there. They beat the women's national team 2 games. So that's young guys and the advantage they have over women physically in a game which is soccer, which is fairly physical, but certainly not like football or basketball.
But if a trans woman is playing a biological woman, you can bet that there's going to be injuries on the soccer field.
Yeah.
I mean, soccer actually, I need to Google this, but I think that soccer actually has a ton of injuries.
Yeah, there'll be injuries, and then it'll also be not as competitive, because what you're looking for in all sports is parity. F1 is F1 because they have all these rules, and they add weight, and they have all this stuff because they will not let one car have an advantage over the other car. So we'll watch. It'll be very close. All motorsports is that way. Just parity, parity, parity. And if you're going to have one with an extra 200 horsepower, it's not going to be good for the sport.
Or the reason why people like to watch football, right? It's like, well, this QB has this record and this QB has this record, and let's see them go head to head. And it's the interest of that. I don't think that the average American wants to see a 6'2" transgender woman going up against biological women on the Angel City FC.
But let's see what this dumb cow has to say.
So this lady, it was horrible. Like to be a part of this team, if I were Elizabeth Eddy, I'd be like, peace, I'm leaving.
Let's hear what her teammate has to say.
Going into this, I'm a little bit nervous because I think it's a big job to represent your team and speak for your team, and not just that, speak for others who this will be important to. We've all obviously seen the article that was written in the New York Post earlier this week. So I really want to start off by saying that that article does not speak for this team in this locker room. I've had a lot of combos with my teammates in the past few days, and they are hurt and they are harmed by the article, and also they are disgusted by
how?
How are they harmed? What's the article say?
Did the article stab them in the face?
They're hurt and they're harmed as well. But what did the article say? Just said
this is the article from her teammate Elizabeth Eddy saying, "Hey, National Women's Soccer League needs to have a standard on this and adopt a clear standard." She proposed that one option is that all players must be born with ovaries, as the FA requires, or another option was an SRY gene test like those at the World Athletics and boxing.
That's hurtful and harmful.
And that's harmful to the rest of her teammates.
Right. But I love at some point she'll get to as a woman of mixed race. I love the narcissism of all of it. But here we go.
Things that were said in the article, and it's really important for me to say that. And we don't agree with the things written for a plethora of reasons, but mostly the undertones come across as transphobic and racist as well. The article
love that they
calls
get
for
race
genetic
and
testing
everything.
on certain players, and it has a photo of an African player as a headline, and that's very harmful. And to me, it's inherently racist, because to single out this community based on them looking or being different is absolutely a problem. And as a mixed woman
she's
with
mixed.
a black family, I'm devastated
Wait, hold on.
by the undertones of this article.
She's
So
mixed with a black family.
I'm assuming that means she's married to a black man and has black kids. Right. So she's.
Maybe.
But-
Never
but-
know these days. So she's mixed.
But I
As
also
a
think-
woman who's mixed, yes.
I think
As a
like
woman.
okay, so I'm assuming that Elizabeth Eddy, you've written articles before, I've written articles before. Sometimes my editor uses a picture I wouldn't have used. That doesn't mean that Elizabeth Eddy was like, hey, by the way, when I'm asking the National Soccer League to protect women in sports, I'm not saying that we need to genetically test black people. That was not referenced anywhere in the article.
No, they just
have to
tack
throw it in
on.
there.
They tack it on to everything all the time, and maybe it's their own thing because you have to have black representation. So if you're going to show a picture of a soccer player, maybe they just show reflexively like a black soccer player now. Because I don't know why there's a black soccer player in the thing, but obviously it has nothing to do with the author. And that's not what they're talking about. But she had to do the racing because it's weak. But also they do this thing where they go, obviously we disagree with much of what's in the article. Hey, bitch, spit it out. Tell us what you disagree with. Tell us specifically what you disagree with, and then we could have a discussion about it.
It's also like, is she kind of dumb? Because I think when she refers to the genetic testing, it's like it's testing that is sex eligibility test. It's not, are you Zambian or Ugandan or Southern Californian? And it's like specifically to figure out if you are having to play a potentially dangerous interactive sport against a biological male.
Well, then she's got her Dumbo white counterpart who's going to say something, which I like too, because she doesn't have anything to say. Which
family. I'm devastated
She's
by
devastated.
this article.
For me personally, when I think of
me personally,
LA,
hold on, pause it.
and
This is
I
the
think
problem.
of
For me personally.
But everybody else has to agree with
Everybody's
you.
for me personally. Hey, bitch, let's just stick to the facts. But anyway, for her personally, what's the problem?
City, I think of a place that was founded upon inclusivity and love for all people. That's what our locker room is. That's what our staff is. That's what our fan base is. Angel City is a place for everyone. It always will be. That's how it was from the beginning. That's how it always will be. Period. And I think.
All right, hold on. This bitch can't think of stuff to say.
She's reading her notes. She has her phone out.
What we have right now is a place in Angel City. It's also named for a brewery, I think, in San Diego. It was founded on the promise of fairness for everyone, and that's what it is, and that's what it's going to be, and that's what it'll always be. And for me personally, Angel City's a oasis of fairness, founded on a bedrock of fairness.
Does she not know the history of LA, like of the City of Angels, aka Catholic priests who came here and tried to convert
Well, how long
like
has this soccer
indigenous
team
people?
been around? 200 years or like 18 months?
But she says like the city of Los Angeles, like she's implying that the history of LA is totally perfect towards the oppressed
We're
people.
here for fairness, so like our concession stands or whatever you can afford.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Like
and
if you want-
tickets.
Tickets could be $80, but if you only have $2, then it'll be $2 and a T-shirt and a hoodie, which are normally $49.95. It's just whatever you can afford because we're built on fairness here in Angel City. Yeah, let's watch her one more time because she has zero to say.
She wrote it down
obviously
too. See her looking at her notes
I
on her
didn't
phone.
even see her looking at her phone. Maybe she's been involved with too many headers. Sorry, let's hear it.
for me personally, when I think of
stuff,
LA and
stuff,
I think of Angel City,
and stuff,
I think of a place that was founded upon inclusivity and love for all people. That's what
why
our
we
locker
push.
room is. That's
Yep.
what our staff is. That's what our fan base is.
It's been around since 2020.
Angel City is a place for everyone. It always will be. That's how it was from the beginning.
Yep.
That's how it always will be.
From now on, from
period.
the beginning.
And I think this situation,
stuff
there's
people's,
Lisa, you kind of touched on it. There's an element of timing to it where
it's always bad timing.
this feels like another really big challenge that we have to go through as a team on top of an already really challenging year.
So anyway, these guys from Texas
and it's
who
definitely
didn't have
not the
pubes
note
kicked our ass.
that we as a group want to end on. And so
So
I just want everyone to know
They
that
probably
we're
would've
doing our
scored more, but
best
their moms
in the
needed them to
locker
come home
room
for dinner.
to preserve respect and belonging
because the
on this
streetlights came
team.
on, and we need a sense of
we look forward
place,
to
a place
ending
of
the season
love,
on as positive of a note as
good.
possible.
It's built on love.
By throwing
Okay.
your other
All right,
teammate
all
under the bus.
All right, Dumbo.
So Elizabeth Eddy, apparently, people even before this were rumors were flying that her contract that it expires, I guess, this Sunday, and that it won't be renewed by the team.
You have to have a press conference to throw your teammate under the
Your
bus.
teammate who's likely representing, I think, the majority, not only the majority of the viewers and the American voters, but maybe the majority of other women in other locker rooms all over the country that don't want to have to share that space or be,
People don't want
elbowed
to
on the
play
field by a
women's
dude.
sports with a dude. That's it. That's all. That's all there is. That's it. You can make as much as you want about race or about gender or about exclusivity or inclusivity. You can do whatever you want. Normal people don't want a dude on the girls' team. That's all.
And
That's
part
all.
of her, I don't
or in the
understand.
bathroom or in the locker room. That's all.
I don't understand how we're supposed to be, yay, women in sports, and then lambast a woman in sports who said, quote, just as we built a new space for women to compete in the largest arenas, now we must honor that commitment and make sure that the National Women's Soccer League stays for women.
They're grievance. They're grievance people. By the way, it was 2000. I said 2019. It was 2017.
Okay.
When the women's team lost 5-2 to the dudes without pubes.
I think Ben Shapiro likes to use that reference.
Dudes
as well.
without pubes?
No, Ben would never. I mean, the soccer example of just the difference, the physiological, biological difference of men and women.
I'm pretty sure an under 15 team could beat the women's Olympic basketball team as well. And I'll say this. There are literally hundreds of thousands of millions of dudes who at age 15 in this country can dunk a basketball. There's probably 3 women in the world who can dunk a basketball. And so they can play above the rim.
Yeah.
And if you can either play above the rim or
then
you
can
can't.
beat the average WNBA player.
If you can play above the rim, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. There's probably been a couple of dunks in WNBA history, and those are kind of weak, and they're not kind of highlight dunks. They're sort of technically.
But they're highlighted and shown all over social media because they're so excited.
Well, how many, look it up, Dawson, how many women in the NBA can dunk a basketball? And I would argue that there are some high school teams like in the inner city and stuff where everyone can dunk, but that's high school. That's not 15, but definitely because high school all-stars are LeBron James at 17 or 18 and Kobe Bryant at 17 or 18. Like these guys are world class at 17 or 18.
Yeah.
They list about 4 players who can, but they say that there are fewer than 30 dunks recorded in the league's history since its inception in 1997.
Oh, wow.
As of 2025, 8 women have dunked in a WNBA game, whereas there's 8 dunks per quarter in a professional male game. But I would argue that when you watch the McDonald's All-Star team, the high school McDonald's basketball team, those guys can dunk, all of them. It's crazy. So there's absolutely the high school McDonald's All-Star team would beat the all-star team of the WNBA. The question is, could the before 15 and younger?
Yeah.
And I would go yes.
Yeah.
And because of that, there's a difference. And also, there doesn't need to be anything attached to it. It's just guys excel at this thing, and so you don't want the guys with the women because it's unfair to the women.
It's unfair to the women, and as we've seen in a lot of examples, it's physically unsafe to the women as well.
Mm-hmm. All right.
That's just the case.
All right. We good?
I think so.
All right. Let's see. I'm going to be in Boston at the Wilbur Theater coming up Thursday, and then off to Electric City in New York. Let's not forget that I'm at Cap City November 12th. And, God, who's on there with me? Oh, Brian Callum. Yeah, is going to be out with me. Yeah, Brian
That's
Callum.
fun.
Sorry, screwed that up. I was looking in the wrong direction. Had a little brain fart there. You can go to Carolla.com for all the live dates. Until next time, time for Alicia Krause, her op-ed at the Washington Examiner. And I want to thank Ryan Sickler and Gary Cannon. Until next time, time Carolla saying mahalo.